I'm here today to inform you about the history of NASCAR. It went from a southern sport to a nationwide sport. They're not just guys making left turns, going around in circles. It's more than just that. I'm going to talk about how NASCAR got started, its rise from 1949 to 1980, and its most famous driver, Richard Petty. NASCAR got started because of the 18th Amendment getting passed, so a bunch of moonshiners and bootleggers had souped up cars that run the cops. So some people in the towns were like, let's see who's got the best car that was souped up. And also in Daytona Beach, Florida, you had the beach races. It was over a 4-mile race course, half asphalt, half beach. Bill France was part of a few of those races, and he saw that I could take this and some of what's going on in the southeast part, combine it all into one sport and create NASCAR. Well, December of 1947, his dream came true at the Streamline Beach Hotel in Daytona Beach, Florida. And the meeting you see here, NASCAR was formed. The first race was in 1949. According to an article on History.com that accessed on February 12, 2020, stated NASCAR held its first strictly stocked race June 19, 1949 at Charlotte Speedway. Some 13,000 fans were in attendance to see Glenn Dunaway finished the 200-lap race in first. However, Jim Roper collected the $2,000 prize after Dunaway was disqualified for illegal river springs in his vehicle. Now, we're going to talk about the most impactful race in NASCAR history, 1979 Daytona 500. And according to an article in Sports Illustrated in 1998 on the 1979 Daytona 500, talked about why this was very important. This was the first 500-mile race to be televised live in its entirety. With much of the nation snowed in by massive February storms, viewers sent ratings soaring to 10.5, an impressive figure for what had previously been thought of as a southern sport. And they saw the most interesting thing that day. The last lap, you had Cale Yarborough, Donnie Allison, beating and banging. They wreck. They are stuck in the infield because of all the rain that day. Richard Petty comes around, passes them, and he gets the win. But however, it was just getting started. They went to TV and they saw this. Donnie Allison, his brother Bobby, and Cale all got in the foul in the back straightaway. Here's another picture from that. And everybody was like, oh my goodness, this is the best thing I've ever seen. So everybody was tuning in the next week. Are we going to see a fight? And it was a fight around the world, made NASCAR the way it is. Now I'm going to go to the most famous driver in NASCAR history, Richard Petty. Here's him and his dad, Lee. Lee had the most wins until Richard overtook him. And Richard's first win was protested by none other than his father, Lee, in 1959. As, according to Sarah McWaters, a journalist for Bleacher Report, an article I got on February 18, 2020, she stated Richard thought he had won, but his dad filed a protest and won because Richard turned out to be a lap down. Lee said, I would have protested even if it was my mother, according to Joseph Slano of the New York Times. And also, there was a little bonus if the 1959 model car won. Richard was in 1957, and Lee was in 1959. So it gave Petty Enterprises, which was a team that they owned, family-owned team, a little bit more money in the process. But Richard's final win and his 200th win came at the Daytona National Speedway, July 4th, 1984. Beat out Cale Yarborough by that much. That gave us 200th victory. And in attendance that day, President Ronald Reagan at the time. And after the race, the drivers all got together and ate KFC with the president. No better way to celebrate a 200th win for the greatest NASCAR driver of all time than eating with the President of the United States. That is just scratching the surface on what has happened in NASCAR history, but a lot more has happened. Hopefully, there's going to be a lot more exciting things happen in this 2020 decade that we are just beginning. As I talked about how NASCAR got started, its rise from 1949 to 1980, and then its most famous driver, Richard Petty. Hopefully, hearing all this, wants to make you learn more about NASCAR and become a NASCAR fan of all this, because it is a very interesting sport to watch, and you learn some stuff about it. It is very interesting to see some of the stuff that happened back in the early days.